you're looking to move to San Diego, but you really don't know anything about San Diego. Well, in this video today, I want to tell you the pros and the cons of living in San Diego. My name is Kyle Whistle with Whistle Realty Group. I am one of those rare native San Diegans that is born and raised here. I've lived here for over 40 years of my life, and I want to share everything that I have learned with you. And what I want to do specifically in this video today is do something that most real estate agents don't do, which is not just share the pros with you, but also share the cons of living in San Diego with you, because I like to keep it real. San Diego is an amazing place, and while we do have a lot of sunshine and rainbows here, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's some cons to San Diego in addition to the pros. So I'm gonna keep it very, very real with you. I'm gonna give you my top 5 pros, my top 5 cons, so that if you're thinking about moving here, you really have a good idea of what to expect. If you are thinking about moving here, my team and I would love to be your guide to living in San Diego. You can call or text us at the number down below. That'll connect you with my team where we can learn a little bit more about you, what your goals are, what your lifestyle goal is, and more about your budget to really help you figure out where the right place is for you to live here in San Diego, California, which we often refer to as America's finest city. Because if you've never been here before, this place is amazing and can't wait to tell you more about it. So I'm gonna bounce back and forth. I'm gonna go pro, I'm gonna go con, I'm gonna go pro, I'm gonna go con. To keep it fresh, again, I'm all about keeping it real with you. So let's talk a little bit about the pros. Number 1, we have to talk about this. It is the weather. San Diego has arguably the best weather in the entire country, possibly in the entire world. There's literally businesses here that are called 75 and sunny. It is that good of weather because it literally feels like it's 75 degrees in San Diego year round. We have some of the best weather you're gonna find. It never really gets too hot, never really gets too cold. It rarely rains. It is just an amazing place to live. So keep in mind, you're not going to have all of the seasons, right? Let's talk about one of the cons. Like, you don't have the seasons. It doesn't snow here. So if you look forward to those, maybe you remember those snow days when you were a kid, like, there's no snow days in San Diego. It doesn't snow here. Now, what is kind of cool is you have snow available to you. So if you're willing to drive you in the winter time when it rains in San Diego on a cold day, you can drive up to the local mountains, which are about 45 minutes to an hour away, places like Mount Laguna and Julian, and you can actually go play in the snow. There's no like chairlifts or anything. You're throwing snowballs, tobogganing, sledding, stuff like that. Or if you want to go snowboarding, skiing, you can drive about 2 to 3 hours, depending on where you're at in San Diego, and be in Big Bear, where you've got amazing snow to go snowboarding in. Now that is a true mountain town. You've got 2 different resorts there. You got anywhere from beginner runs all the way up to double black diamond runs. So you've got all of that available to you, but you're not going to get the true seasons here in San Diego. You don't have a whole lot of changing of the colors. You don't have a lot of where all the trees turn, orange and all of that. Like, we basically go from like summer to not summer in San Diego. So if you're somebody who really likes the big changes in weather, you're not going to get a lot of that. The coldest you're typically going to get, and we talk about like high temperatures, in the colder parts of the year, you're rarely going to get below 60 degrees in San Diego. If you have a day where the high is under 60, like, that's a pretty cold day in San Diego. So even in the winter, most of your days are going to be in the 60s, maybe in the 70s. And in the summertime, you're going to have most of your days going to be in the 70s or to the 80s. So you don't have a whole lot of range of temperatures in San Diego. We only get a few inches of rain per year. So if you're looking for a place you like the rain, maybe you want to go up to Seattle. Maybe that might be more your speed, because don't expect to get a lot of rain here. What's funny in San Diego is there are people who literally wear flip-flops every single day of the year. And the only difference is in the winter, they wear flip-flops with jeans. I've never understood this, and I'm a native San Diegan, but there are people all the time wearing flip-flops and jeans. It's a weird look to me, but that's a look you're going to find here in San Diego. It'll be flip-flops, jeans, and a hoodie. But flip-flops, like, your feet are cold. I don't get it, people, but there are a lot of people in San Diego who rock this flip-flops and jeans look. So that's how we bundle up in the winter here, is we put jeans on with our flip-flops. But you're going to find a lot of people that love to just wear their flip-flops year-round. So, hey, more power to them. So, again, pro, you're going to have amazing weather year-round. So if you don't like snow, you don't like the cold, you don't like the rain, San Diego's great. And especially like if you're somebody who's an outdoor enthusiast, whether you like to go golfing or maybe you like to go hiking or mountain biking, like you can do that year-round here. There's a lot of sports that don't shut down in the winter. Even if you like going fishing, you can go fishing all winter long in San Diego. You can still go out on the ocean, and odds are it's probably going to be in the 60s out on the ocean. So you can still go fishing even in the winter. So if you're coming from the north, the northeast, where it actually snows and your lakes freeze over, like that doesn't happen here. You could be out boating 12 months a year. So let's keep it moving. Let's talk a little bit about all the things that you're going to have access to. One of the pros of San Diego, I've had days where I've literally surfed in the morning and snowboarded in the afternoon. And heck, if I wanted to, I could go to another country at night, which is crazy, right? San Diego, if you've never been here, we border Mexico. So we have Tijuana just to the south of us. So depending on where you're at in San Diego, when you fly into San Diego, if you just hopped on the freeway and went 20 minutes south, you're in Mexico. If you're even in the northern part of San Diego County, pretty much anywhere in San Diego County, you're within 45 minutes to an hour of the Mexican border. So you could literally go to another country. There's a really cool place if you go down into Mexico that's called Valle de Guadalupe. It's one of my favorite places right now to go. That's kind of like the Napa of Baja California. So you have amazing wine, kind of cool, funky vibe down there. There's nothing normal in Valle. It's just this real cool, trendy spot. So we have access to so much in San Diego. You can go to the beach, you can go up to the mountains, go snowboarding, and go down to Mexico and have amazing wine. There's a lot of lakes in San Diego where I could go fishing, I could go boating, or I could go up to the mountains and get some really cool hiking in, or I could even go to the desert. It's something my family and I love to do is we go out to the desert. We have hard packed deserts, which are kind of like more your dirt, cactus type deserts, and then we have sand dunes deserts where you're going these amazing sand dunes and you're riding dirt bikes and quads and side by sides and dune buggies and all of that. So you've got all of that, within a 2-hour drive of San Diego. So there is so much to do. You got theme parks, you got Legoland, you got SeaWorld. If you're willing to drive a little bit north, you got Disneyland. We got a new water park opening up called Sesame Place, so Sesame Street themed water park. Like, you got everything here in Southern California, especially in San Diego. Now let's talk about a con. Because you have access to all of this amazing stuff, it's not cheap. San Diego is definitely one of the more pricey places to live in the entire country, or even here in California. So you got to be willing to pay what we call the sunshine tax. So when you live here in San Diego, you get this amazing weather that we talked about, and you have access to all of these amazing things that you can pretty much do year round. You're going to pay for that, right? You're going to pay. If you want to have all the cool things in life, you're going to have to pay for it. So we refer to it as the sunshine tax. And what that is everything is just more expensive. So you want to get gas, our gas prices tend to be 20-30% higher. Like we drive out to Arizona sometimes, and as soon as I cross the border, the price of gas drops substantially just because I crossed over a border. So everything is more expensive here. Gas is more expensive. Housing is absolutely more expensive, especially here in San Diego. Being a real estate company, if you want to be by the coast, you're going to pay a premium to be by the coast. If you're willing to move inland or move east a little bit further, your price tends to go down. So keep that in mind. San Diego is not a cheap place to live. You're going to pay that sunshine tax, and hey, you either are willing to pay the price for the weather, for the location, the proximity, all those cool things, or you're not. That's a decision you can make. But our team, again, if you want to connect with us, you can call us or text us at the number below. We can set up a time and get together with you, whether it be in person or via Zoom, and we can just learn a little bit more about you, your desired lifestyle, budget, all that, and really help guide you on where the right place for you to move to so you can live here in San Diego. Let's keep it moving. There's a lot of events and attractions here in San Diego, so we touched on a few of those On the last one, things like SeaWorld, Legoland, the San Diego Zoo, San Diego Safari Park. You got Disneyland close by, Magic Mountain's within driving distance, Universal Studios is within driving distance. You got the Sesame Place water park. You've got Great Wolf Lodge. You got all kinds of stuff that's either in San Diego or within a few hours drive. And we have a lot of big events here. So you have, if you're into comics, or you have San Diego Comic-Con, which is the biggest comic convention in the entire world. So you've got things like that. You've got different music festivals like Kaboo that happen here in San Diego. So I've seen amazing acts, Dave Matthews Band, Foo Fighters, Pink, Kesha, all kinds of great music artists. So there's a lot of music festivals. There's an EDM festival that happens here a couple times a year called Cross. You've got just tons of music venues. You got an amphitheater down here. I don't know what the name of the amphitheater is right now, because having lived here for 40 plus years, I feel like the amphitheater changes names every like 4. So whatever I tell you the name of it is today, it's probably going to be a different name by the time you watch this video. So let's just call it the amphitheater. So we have huge acts come in all the time, playing at that amphitheater, and then they're building a new stadium for the San Diego State Aztecs football team, which they'll host a lot of concerts there when that's done. We got Petco Park where the Padres play. There's concerts there all the time. So there's a lot of activities, and a lot of stuff happens in San Diego year round because, like we talked about, we got some of the best weather in the world here. So there's always fun events going on indoors, outdoors. You got the US Open of golf that happens at Torrey Pines. Like, it's a killer place. Now, what comes along with that is there's a lot of tourists in San Diego, especially in the coastal communities, the areas that we tend to see the highest concentration of tourism. Downtown San Diego, or the Gaslamp District area. There's a ton of hotels down there. Obviously, the main convention center is there. So a lot of tourism in that area. The other area where we see it pretty heavily is in the coastal communities of Pacific Beach and Mission Beach, which, if you've watched our videos on all the different regions of San Diego, that'd be the central region in the coastal portion of it. You have a lot of tourists in San Diego all the time. So if you're down by the beach, you're walking around downtown, if you tap 5 people on the shoulder, probably 3 or 4 of them are going to be from other parts of the country. So be prepared for that. There's tourism constantly. And that's another fun fact, is there's a large percentage of people that live in San Diego that are not from San Diego, because what happens is all these tourists come to San Diego and they're like, holy cow, it is the middle of February and it's 65 degrees out and I'm out on a boat right now, 75 degrees out, who knows, right? And they think about getting back on the plane to go fly back somewhere where you just got a foot of snow and they're going to have to shovel their driveway the next morning. So you have a lot of people who want to move here to San Diego. So there's a high amount of tourism. And a lot of the population here in San Diego is not San Diego natives, which is why when I say I'm one of the rare natives, there are not a lot of born and raised San Diegans in San Diego. A good percentage of the people living here have migrated here from somewhere else, whether it be another state or even another country. We have a lot of people that move here from Mexico or from the Philippines. There's San Diego has a lot of military bases. So we have a lot, or from Guam, or from different areas, from some of the different territories of the U.S. that end up staying here. So we have a very diverse population, which is really cool in San Diego as well. Let's go to a pro. The food scene and the beer scene in San Diego is next level. Michelin recently came out. They gave 4 different restaurants in San Diego a star. It seems like more and more restaurants are getting Michelin stars every year. So you have amazing restaurants all over the place in San Diego. I'll share a couple, just some of my favorite restaurants. This is really cool. If you like Italian food, you kind of want like that real authentic Italian food, and you want something that's just a very unsuspecting place. Talk to Chef Franco at Antica Trattoria in La Mesa. This is not a place you're going to go get a spaghetti and meatballs and a pizza. Like, this is authentic Italian food. Most of the staff, the owner, all from Italy. That place is amazing. We have tons of killer steakhouses. One of my favorites, it's on the sand. This is in coastal North County. It's called Pacific Coast Grill. They have phenomenal steaks, phenomenal seafood. Pacific Coast Grill is another one of my favorites. So there's a couple places for you to check out. And then the other thing is our beer scene is really strong in San Diego. There's over 100 breweries in San Diego. Super fun. You can go around and do brewery tastings. And even up in the Ramona part of San Diego, there's a lot of wineries. So you can go out and do wine tasting. You could go brewery tasting, like very cool food and beverage scene. Some of the big breweries in San Diego, you got Stone Brewing, which is, you know, a worldwide brand at this point. They have locations even up in Europe. And you got Karl Strauss, who makes some amazing beer. Stone, they have a new beer. You got to check it out. If you like Coronas, check out Buena Vesa. Buena Vesa is a delicious Mexican style beer. Or you got Karl Strauss, the Karl Strauss Red Trolley, phenomenal beer. So beer scene, very, very strong. So let's move over to a con, places where you tend to have a lot of food and beer is at sporting events. San Diego is down to one pro team now. So San Diego does not have a, we'll be clear on pro, at the highest level of pro. We do not have an NHL team. We do not have an NBA team. We used to have an NFL team that is gone. The only, you know, of the major sports that we have left is a baseball team. So there's some, you know, places like living in Los Angeles, where the Chargers moved to out of San Diego. They have 2 football teams. They have 2 basketball teams. They have 2 baseball teams, right? There's other areas where they have 2, you know, they have the Kings, and Orange County has the Ducks. Like, there's a lot more sports, and even just in California and other areas, especially you go to like a Dallas, Texas, or Orlando, Florida, they've got all the sports. San Diego is not a big sports town. There's not a lot of it. And I think part of the reason we talked about is a lot of the people who live in San Diego are not from San Diego. And so it's hard to be a diehard San Diego Chargers fan when you're not from San Diego. Most people were raised cheering for other teams. Like, my family's from Buffalo, New York. And so I'm naturally a Buffalo Bills fan. And you have a lot of people who've moved here from even up in the New England area, and from a lot of people, it seems like from the Pittsburgh area, have moved to San Diego. So sports teams tend to struggle a little bit with getting attendance. So you don't have a big pro sports following here in San Diego. Now, we do have a lot of teams where we have, maybe they're not at the highest level. Like, we do have a hockey team. They play in like a minor league for the Anaheim Ducks. It's called the San Diego Gulls. We've got a rugby team. We actually got a women's NMLS team coming for soccer. So we got more stuff coming. What we are big fans of here, though, is our San Diego State Aztecs. So San Diego State is one of the biggest universities here in San Diego. Their football team, their basketball team are often ranked in the top 25. We're huge supporters of the San Diego State Aztecs, and they are building a new stadium in the center of San Diego. So where the San Diego Chargers used to play, there's a brand new stadium that's being built that'll be opened up by the end of 2022 that the San Diego State Aztecs will be playing in. The women's soccer team is going to play there, and I think there's going to be a lot of concerts there. It's going to be a really cool place to be. So if sports are your thing, you might not love that. Next up on the list is going to be schools. The schools in San Diego, you've got multiple universities here. So you've got UCSD, which tends to be a school that's really highly ranked when it comes to pre-med. So you have a lot of doctors that come out of UCSD. Their biotech is a huge thing in San Diego, especially in the area right around UCSD. So you're gonna have a really strong program there for those that want to get into biotech. I went to UCSD myself. The business school is really strong there. Other schools, you've got San Diego State, huge campus. There's actually 2. So UCSD is a state school. It's part of University of California. And then you have 2 state schools. You have Cal State San Marcos and San Diego State. So both part of the state system. 2 other great schools. So Cal State San Marcos is in the northern part of San Diego. San Diego State is in the central part of San Diego. You also have USD, which is a great school that is often thought of as a pre-law school. So you have a lot of lawyers coming out of UCSD, or I'm sorry, out of USD. and that is a more of a private school, a little bit pricier. So you gotta, one, have the grades to get in, and two, have the money to afford it, or maybe you earned a scholarship. So you got to be ready for that if you are going into USD. And then we have a ton of community colleges in San Diego, and so what's great with all those community colleges, a lot of them have programs that will help feed you into the university. So you can do 2 years at a community college and then be fed into the university. So schools, lots of schools, colleges in San Diego, universities, great education. All of these schools are very prestigious. And we'll note too that San Diego State, when they build their new stadium that we talked about, it's called Snapdragon Stadium, that is going to be surrounded by a huge expansion of their campus, because there's so many kids that want to go to San Diego State and they can't get in because there's no room for them. So they're building the stadium first, and then they're going to build a West campus. So it's going to allow them to take in another, I believe, 10,000 plus students at that West campus. So lots of fun things on the horizon for San Diego schools. So let's finish this video up with a con, because again, my goal is not to be that cheesy realtor who just pretends like it's all sunshine and rainbows. There's some cons to living in any city, and San Diego is no different. So last one I'm going to leave you with is the traffic. San Diego has some pretty rough traffic. You've got a few specific areas where most businesses are centered, places like Kearny Mesa, Rancho Bernardo, University City, downtown, where a lot of the businesses are. So you have people that are living all around the rest of the county coming in from the suburbs. So people coming in from East County, from South Bay. You even have those that are commuting from Tijuana. So you actually do have people who commute back and forth across the border every day. Traffic can be a little bit rough in San Diego. So you're going to, and this is something that's kind of unique to San Diego that a lot of other places don't have, is you don't not only have traffic Monday to Friday when people are working, you have traffic on Saturday and Sunday as well. You're probably thinking like, Kyle, why is there traffic on the weekends? Because it's San Diego. Everybody wants to be in San Diego. So in the summertime, especially, you have a lot of people who are driving into San Diego from Arizona and from Nevada because it's freaking hot there, right? They're at 100 plus degrees every single day out there. They want to come to the beaches. So in the summertime, you have a lot of people that are coming in from east, from Nevada and from Arizona, and then pretty much every weekend you have people coming down from Riverside County, from Orange County, from Los Angeles County. You have a lot of people that are coming down to San Diego because we got the best weather, we got everything we talked about, right? There's always cool events happening. There's food, there's drinks, there's beaches, we got theme parks, we got great weather, we got great schools. Like, you got everything here in San Diego, and that's what makes San Diego such an amazing place to live. So hey, you got to deal with a little traffic. You got to pay a little higher prices, but you got so much amazing stuff at your fingertips. And so as we kind of wrap this video up, I hope you got a lot of value out of today, learned a couple cool things. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, let YouTube know that you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you get notified every time we release a new episode of the show, because our goal with this show is to really be your guide to living in San Diego and just sharing everything I've learned over the last 40 years here of living in San Diego with you, so that when you're thinking about either making a move into San Diego or moving around in San Diego, trying to figure out where you want to live in San Diego, I really want to be your guide to make sure you find the perfect place at the perfect price. And so if you are exploring making a move, we would be honored to be your real estate team of choice. Give us a call, shoot us a text at the phone number down below. That'll connect you with my team, where we can learn a little bit more about you, your goals, and help you set a plan in place to accomplish those goals. So again, my name is Kyle Whistle with Whistle Realty Group, your guide to living in San Diego.